reach around and say, 1, 2, 4. I get down, so I get down on the floor. This one, 1, 2.
Dude, I have to say welcome back. It's my first show of 2019. Lace, Laughs, and the Bottom Line with Jenna Archer. My partner in crime, Math, is in the back. So last night, Matt, thanks so much for taking care of BR. And I watched the show, 6th season of The Vandal Hour. How impressive is that? You're not going to talk to me?
I can hear you.
All right, whatever. He's working. Long story short, Vandal Hour is somewhere I've been on once or twice now at this point.
Facts.
Always interesting demographic of people. Last night you had on BR. In addition to that, you had Tommy the Animator.
And innocent flow.
I didn't see that. I was in the shower for that one because somebody was taking. Yeah, I was a little late. But we gonna. How do I get this live going? I hate this thing. I do. I hate this. It's cool. All right, I'll figure it out.
So
anyway,
how you feeling, Queen?
I'm exhausted. I was cooking and I have laundry to still do. That's one of the things I have to do when I get home. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm more excited about my show today. It's my first show of the year.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're back.
Happy to be here, by the way. The area looks nice. I see you have some new furniture outside. I'll be laying across the couches taking some pictures before I go. So excited. Anybody know how to get the live working? Anybody here? Jay? Yeah. Can you help me do the live? Yeah, somebody. Yeah. It's okay. I only do media for a living. I'll be all right. It's okay. The liquor hasn't set in yet. Anyway, so let's just talk about a couple of things off the rip. First and foremost, the week has been a little nuts. We went from Jussie Smollett to just being, done to death with is it live? Good. Let me see that for a second. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'll figure this out. Live. You didn't do that live. It's okay. I'll figure it out. Checking connection. That's cool. Anyway, so we were going back and forth with Jussie Smollett and all the memes and everything else. And bottom line, it just went completely silent because R. Kelly is now in the forefront. And for other issues, which I thought was going to be inevitable, you're talking he's $162,000 in debt and child support, which is crazy because I can go into personal situations that I'm well aware of that I'll leave out of it. But there's situations that I don't get how somebody worth that kind of money, or supposedly is worth that kind of money, only owes $162,000. That's nuts. He should be in like the million zone. How many months is this? That's my question. How long has it been gone that you haven't been paying child support? That's number one. I don't know who's crazier, R. Kelly or the lawyer. Who lets this guy talk to anybody before anything is even addressed in court? He was let go the first time because I don't think people really believed to the magnitude of his nonsense. It wasn't just sex crimes. It's like kidnapping, abatement, like trafficking and, underage and pornography. I mean, they have him down for like pedophilia. I mean, they're talking crazy football numbers for this guy. So anyway, to go on Gayle King, and let me be honest, right? Some days I have some time to watch the news, others I don't. On this particular day when I saw all the memes, I thought R did the interview in the morning. No, it was a prequel to what was already taped and was going to be going down on Friday. Had I known, the popcorn would have been popped and the tea would have been steeped because I had no idea that they did this. I think it was an 8 o'clock p.m. episode. I was shocked. So, of course, my dad is there. And he's like, he wants to watch the game. And I'm like, Dad, listen. I said, Dad. And this is the second time this happened with R. Kelly. Because I had like everybody who knows me, the whole R. Kelly story, fine. So it hits home for my dad. So the game is on. And I said, Dad, I think the R. Kelly thing's on. He goes, put that motherfucker on. So my dad, so my dad's the white parent. I liken him to like the George Bush the press conference right after 9/11, and he goes, "We're gonna go in there and get the." So like his whole voice changes. He completely goes full cracker. And I said, listen, we're gonna watch a little piece of it. And he ran home during an intermission. We live across the street from each other. So anyway, it was a horror show. It was a horror show as far as I'm concerned. He had no business doing that interview. Whoever is trying him, this should be a piece of cake. The footage, there's still girls missing. One person thinks their kid is dead. I mean, I'm not laughing at it, but it's like nuts. Anyway, let's get back to Jussie because we didn't have enough of that energy. So it turns out it gets a little deeper. And I'm going to stop commenting on the Jussie situation because, meh, when it first came out, I didn't believe it. And again, then you come across as, evil, give me evil Edith, who doesn't want to believe people who've been assaulted. But my thing is, it didn't seem reasonable at 2 o'clock in the morning. This guy's walking around for Subways of all things. Black people don't even like the way Subway smells, let alone food out of there. That's one. Two, no security, didn't order anything off of StubHub or, whatever these food places are. It's 2 degrees out in New York, let alone Chicago. It was like -8 degrees. And then these white guys are just there with nooses hanging around, shooting the breeze, waiting for you with bleach. In any event, so it turns out that I didn't believe the story from the beginning. They uncovered that that's a farce. But then again, now coming out again, I don't know if Lee Daniels himself is producing this whole thing, but what kills me is they're saying that Chicago PD is now in investigation, and what we missed over the last 2 days is that now they've passed a law that you can no longer film. I'm working on that, Matt. I got to get a couple things out because I have timing constraints here. You can't film the Chicago PD anymore, according to this new, I don't know if it's fact or if it's just a new thing they're pitching in the loom of this Jussie Smollett scandal. So, in any event, speaking to R. Kelly and Jussie, I think we have bigger issues. Woody Allen, Charlie Sheen, Elvis, who's gone, but Woody and Sheen are still here. Woody is married to his wife, daughter rather, and Charlie is walking around spreading HIV like we ain't just killed 50 people on a plane going, I forget where the hell they were going. That was the, what plane they took down like 4 years ago with all the AIDS researchers, and you have Charlie Sheen walking around still spreading this like this is like, not like this is like the measles. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Now, I don't have all my numbers and research behind this, but I know Oprah had something to do with the whole Michael Jackson thing. Listen, I'm going to say it like this. You cannot take Mike from me, and I know I may sound nuts because of the whole R. Kelly thing. Do we separate the artists from the music? Because think about how many people make money off of the music itself. It's not just the artists, it's the producers, it's everything that was involved with the production of the, the people who had the beat makers, the drummer in the background. It's everything. So Michael, to me, cannot defend himself, and that's the one thing I will say. So R. Kelly can come out and say what he wants to say for himself, but he can speak. Mike's not here. So we keep digging up certain situations, no pun intended. If that's the case, then let's go for Elvis. Let's talk about everybody, or let's leave it alone. Because I'm tired. It's always a new scandal. It's always a new Me Too thing. And I know, this is my first show for the season. I've been kind of tied up with other things, Jazzy, Joyce for one. But Christmas was troubling for me. I did Santa this year, not literally, but now I understand why it was never going to happen. The problem that I have with Santa is I take my kid there, so it's me, my mom, and, it's a Christmas holiday picture. It's supposed to be my freaking Christmas card. Anyway, so my kid's already on his lap, talking about the dollhouse that I already bought her. Some white guys are gonna get credit for this shit. So, we really got to take charge of that, really reevaluate that whole thing. So my kid's on his lap, which is already a violation, but this is Christmas, it's Santa, you make excuses, right? Think about what I'm saying to you kids. You're making excuses, sexual harassment. You're sending your kid to sit on some white guy's lap once a year. What does this sound like to you? And then you're paying for it. Good grief. What do you want for Christmas, honey? Okay. Anyway, as I push my kid off his lap to get on his lap myself, I want a car. Anyway, so the guy Santa says to me, he says, is it okay if I put my arms around you, your mom? So now at this point, there's a line forming. I'm black and white, so it's always a shit show. So my mother's the black one with me. Great. So I look over. And I said, you want to know if you can put your arms around me and my mom? I said, my kid's on your lap. I go, I can't see how this can get any worse. I said, is this what Christmas has come to? We got a Me Too Santa Claus? I said, what kind of shit is this? I said, don't worry, when I come for you, you'll be dead anyway. The whole line was going crazy. I said, this is a mess, and we really have to think about at what point is too much, because we haven't even hit the hip-hop industry. Okay. Let's start with this, kiddies. And I've been to a couple of parties. I will leave their names out of it, but let me just tell you, some of these things I've talked about behind the scenes, and I see it coming. And when there's smoke, there's fire. People are laughing at R. Kelly now, but I give it a couple of more months before people are coming out crying. partying because they're right in the same boat. R. Kelly was at your house partying with who? Who do you think he's talking to when he get back? This is just one layer. There's a whole, and black folks, namely women, we accept more shit than most. Okay, we were raised differently than most, and our level of expectations are lower than some. I didn't say all because everybody has their own story. I'm speaking for some of my peers and myself. I have no problem opening myself up to that. But with that, this is where we are as a culture. In any event, and that's what we're talking about, opposed to Donald Trump and, I don't know, Mr. Cohen. What do we give a shit, right? Who cares? Anyway, so let's get on to fun stuff. On deck tonight, we have a couple of special guests. So I'm going to start with E. Sampson because he's been here tortured for the last 40 minutes listening to this, listening to me. And he's already had lunch, so there's no excuses. We're going to have, can we take a break? Is that okay with you? Okay. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Oh, keep talking. He's nasty, but I kind of like that. But his sign is danger zone. Let me just tell you. Signs are important, kids. I don't know if anybody else is into the whole astrology thing, but you need to be because some motherfuckers you just can't, are undateable. There's certain people are just, I won't call signs because I don't know what everybody else is in this room. I don't want to turn anybody else off, but let me just tell you. There's certain signs that I'm just like, And I have to say, most men don't like Capricorns because we're insane. I get that. It's okay. It's true. It's true. Unless you're prepared, run. Now I can take a break? I can go on break, kids. We're going to take Lace laughs in the bottom line. That was the politics and the update news-wise. We'll be back with some music in a few. Be back. Yeah, light it. Let's do.
Reach around, that's 1, 2, 4. I get down, so I get down on the floor. This 1, 2,
Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. don't stop. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop.
We are back. So, on the mic, don't start. There's no safe place. You okay? I asked you if you was okay before we took a breaky break. You had time.
I am okay.
Okay. E. Sampson is here with me. Welcome. You okay?
I'm
All right,
good.
good. You have your water. You have your Poland Springs.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. He may need a shot before this is over. Anyway, on the mic was last Saturday, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. You came in third place.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe. I mean, I didn't get to see the stage performance. I did listen to the tape. The first place winner is also here. So I got to hear who you were up against.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I think stage presence is a big piece. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I appreciate you. Stage presence is a big piece. So that is one thing I do regret. I've been stalking your Instagram.
Oh.
So I like the energy that I do see on the page.
I try.
Tell everybody where you're from, I guess, first and foremost.
I am from this place called Rockland County, New York. That is my, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, go ahead.
I'm from Rockland. It's a saturated place of like
I know you're at. Don't play yourself. I know you're at.
amazing artists and mainly for me musicians, because I know a lot of musicians out there. So that's all just like great after great. It's just a lot of them.
Does that speak to the genre of music that you feel you're creating? Because in listening to what I got from you, it's more sultry opposed to hardcore. So I can appreciate that as a female, because I think that is missing in the industry. I mean, is that?
I could definitely say that. I mean, like for me, I'm definitely like, what, I'm an old school R&B cat, but I definitely like soul music is definitely something that I gravitate towards. I listen to a lot of Ray Charles, James Brown, and it's just like just like I think the soul music is great because it's I was talking this about my boy Stan about this. Stan Michael, shout out. We talk about music, how when you're an artist, it's like mandatory. You have to be like emotional, and definitely the soul is the holder of all your emotions. So when you sing soulful music, you pretty much want your heart on your sleeve. So I pretty much soul is the most powerful type of genre of music in my eyes.
In my opinion, I think that that's what's missing. And to be
Yeah.
quite frank, a lot of women are looking for that. And I know I'm older than you are, as is the norm for most. But what I do think people should realize is women are the ones who are buying everything. So whether it's for me personally or for the men in my life or
Yeah.
whatever, my children, whoever it is, the women are the ones who are spending the dollars. So with that in mind, what are you doing to, outside of the obvious, attract that feminine market who is buying those tickets?
I mean, I just enjoy doing music. Music is a big part of my life. My family, I believe there's a bunch of us, and each and every single one of us sing. My mom is a soprano. My dad's a tenor. I'm sorry, my dad's a bass. I have 3 sisters. They all sing. My 2 younger sisters, I think sing better than I do. If you heard them, you'd be amazed.
Do you do any collaborations?
We used to a long time ago, and then I don't know. I wanted to they kind of like stuck to the whole church thing, which I got nothing against. I'm a big member of church, but I do like to just
Thank you. This is so nice. This is so nice.
getting the royalty treatment.
Wait a second. Oh, see, I'm sorry, because he just mentioned church, and I'm over here like.
It's all right. Nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
But let me ask you a quick question. So it's you and 3 siblings, so it's 4 of you total?
3 siblings, and I have 3 nieces.
And they all sing too?
They all sing.
Or is everybody's last name Jones? Because I feel like this should be like some kind of a Jones situation here.
No, Jones is the last name that I decided to put to the artist E. Sampson.
Excuse us, because we'll get into the name in a second. But I'm just curious because with that kind of talent, I mean, we were speaking to Mike earlier, but I think it's interesting when you have family and talent does obviously have a lineage. It's impressive to see it does transcend. I can't sing. I was kicked out of the choir in 4th grade by the nun. I was.
Wow.
Well, it just tells you it's brutal, especially in the church. The church doesn't play.
They don't.
I also saw footage, and it was a still picture, so I'm assuming you weren't acting. You're a drummer?
Yes, I am. I've been playing drums longer than I've been singing, actually.
What do you like? I mean, I don't know if it's a dumb question, but like Alicia Keys does too. So is there one passion that supersedes the other, or?
At first, I kind of thought that I would have had to pick between drumming or singing, and then after having a conversation with a good friend, my brother, I figured, why do I have to pick? They're both in music. Who says I can't do both?
No one. That's the whole point. Plus, you're saving a salary. Okay.
True. Also
All right.
true.
Let me get back to. I'm gonna step aside for a second because this is lace laughs and the
Okay.
bottom line. So the bottom line that I want to discuss with you, we're gonna sidetrack from music for 3 seconds. There's
Okay.
tons of questions here.
Okay.
So, off camera, we were talking about a little bit of basketball.
No.
So I'm a state champ twice over, and I take basketball very
No.
seriously.
I'm
And
scared.
I'm a diehard Knick fan, and I don't really care who you like because apparently you don't have a team. You have a player.
It's
And I don't care who I didn't ask all-time favorite player
Nervous.
because if that's the case,
I'm nervous.
there's a whole line of players that I can talk about that I like.
I'm nervous.
You shouldn't be, as long as it's not one person.
I am.
So I understand. You said Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal is one
So
of my
Shazam
favorite.
is your okay. Listen, that's dope. That's dope. Shaq is listen. Blue chips. I mean, listen. Shaq is all American. I mean, listen. He is basketball, especially with the broadcasting now. I mean, he's everything the sport has to offer. Right now, let's get past that because you're sidebarring.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. Who's your current player that you love that's active?
It's tough.
Let's make it simple.
I won't be able to decide because I'm going to be completely honest. You know, I haven't been invested in the basketball season this year.
That's fine, because I mean the whole season has been to shit. The Knicks, I think we won. I think what are it to 15 games. The Nets I hear are doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, LeBron, who I've always criticized in the league, and he does a lot for charity, which is why I've been a little bit lighter on him than I have in the past.
Okay.
I'm never impressed in the fact that he's done all he can to pick his teams. He didn't do so well this year. I know that much. And I know there's somebody in the room that's a little hot, and that's not my problem. And I don't know what the record is number for number. I should have Googled that before I came home. I'm sorry, came here rather from my house. I'll get that for us later during the break.
Oh, boy.
But as a leader, you have to know how to lead.
Yes.
I don't recall Michael ever having a season like this. Michael always made his players and teammates look better. He was always able to pass the ball. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Luke Longley? You know, he was a goddamn nobody in the Knicks. But in Chicago, he looked like a celebrity. Kukoc, Kerr, he made his teammates look like BJ. I mean, they look like celebrities. Okay, and that's not the case. Also, free throws, it's only 10 feet. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
Anyway, I could be here all day. Let's get back to your music.
Lord help me.
Speaking, because music is like sports. Everything is competition, right? It's because, like you mentioned, Ray Charles and greats, and you know who inspired you and where you see yourself, and everybody wants to have a chip, and everybody has to understand that there is a team. Everybody needs a team to get. So you have Stan, who's doing the camera work.
Stan Michael.
A lot of people don't realize the behind-the-scenes work that goes into it. So between one of your tracks is Slide. I mean, what kind of producers are you working with?
I met this producer named Varsity, and he was just like he came into the studio. Shout out to brand name Prime CEO. I see you guys. Dash Uno. Oh yeah. And I saw he came in and he just started like just playing track after track after track, and there's very few producers out there that when I listen to their music, like they'll play one fire track and they'll have like, you know, some tracks that are and some tracks that don't like, you know, speak to me at all. But with Varsity, like I say, about 80 to 90% of the tracks that he played, they all were just like bangers. And this particular track, it just gravitated towards me, and I was like, yo. And I was like, listen, if you ain't doing nothing with this one, let me hold this for a little bit. And he's like, I mean, no one has it, so you can hold on to it. And then went into the studio, recorded it, and then I played it back for him. He was like, yo. And I was like, yeah. And he says, you killed it.
I have to say, it's a pleasure interviewing you, but it's such a nice situation here at S.STREET Media, and I'm such a jackass. I don't really like anything, and I think most people who know me know that. I'm a beast, and
it's all right.
To be in a situation where I feel comfortable, and there's nice artwork on the wall. I'll talk to Matt about this later, and you know we can have food. There's room, and do you feel comfortable?
I do feel comfortable.
I mean, outside of not being able to get in the fucking door for 2 hours. I mean, you know, we'll talk about that later. But this is great.
Yeah.
And I think that the production aspect is important because that sets the tone. And then this is a better question for you. So speaking of production.
Yeah.
Do you get the beat first and then go from there, or do you have a song in your head and you're looking for a beat to match the song? I could do
either or.
Is there a preference for you? So I mean, like, is there like, are you just like cooking and you're like, oh, I need to, like, is there something that you're looking for? Like, what do you?
If there's an idea burning in the back of my head, I'll put it together and I'll try to formulate that. This is how actually I put anything together, whether it be a show or like a track. If there's a certain idea that I want, I put it where it needs to be and then I build around it. For Slide, it's actually the second half of the chorus. Slide. I heard that part in my head when I heard the track, and I said, okay, that has to be in the song somewhere. But then I realized that could be part of the chorus, but not the full chorus. And then I made the pre-chorus, and then the verses just came from everything just formulating together. So if I have the beat, it helps. If there's an idea in my head and I don't have the track, what I like to do sometimes, I like to sit with the producer and give him what little knowledge I have of music, and then we piece everything together. I like to give the blueprint, and then they just put everything else together, and then we go from there.
That's interesting. 'Cause normally I just go into the studio and I go, I hate it, and do it again. I hate it. Like I'm like, I'll pick a piece that I don't like, and so most people don't like me in the studio. They just have me when it's bitch, it's done.
I don't know if
just write about this. And thank you so much for the feedback, but no one cares. So yeah.
I don't know if you got the other track. It's called "Letter to You."
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
My Wi-Fi was not working, so
Okay.
I was. I don't. There's no filter.
it's
But I was
all right.
listening to, which is why I have Slide all over
Okay.
my. So,
Yeah.
but I was already stalking your page when I had a Wi-Fi, and the bottom line, what I like about you is it's a different energy, and I think that everybody who's here tonight has something else to offer the industry.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, because I have to do reviews, which I do want to shoot myself. I get paid to do reviews.
Okay.
And that's cool, but I'm honest with my reviews. So you can always tell if my review is negative because it speaks more towards
Okay.
the talent. I'm never negative in a review because talent can grow. And I think that that's bad. When you go out there, I can come to you and speak to you and say, listen, this is what I will work on. But to print something that's negative is a bad look. I speak to what I liked about it. I speak to you as an artist and your path and who you want to work with.
Yeah.
But to give any kind of negative feedback in a written format, I think is negative because everybody has the opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
And all you need is 10 years later to be like, look at this piece of shit review from 10 years ago. So that's just my opinion.
I don't mind the feedback. I actually,
No, we're going to talk behind the scenes, but that's what I'm saying. That's what this is
Okay,
about.
okay.
But what I like about my show today is everybody has something different to give
Yeah.
the music industry. And I
Yeah.
think that, again, it's mundane. Like, everything is the same shit.
Yeah.
I'm older. I'm aware. Thank you. But
don't listen to her. She's
no, but it's true because you have to know who your buying demographic is.
True.
Your buying demographic is 18 to 28 females.
Yeah.
That's not me. So when people say to me, Jade, do you like the music? I may not like your music, but that doesn't mean it's not a hit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I have to be, as somebody who listens to music, I have to be open-minded
Okay.
to, this is amazing. I mean, it just keeps coming. I just sit here, it just keeps, but one of the things people have to be open to is their demographic. It's not a matter of who you want to buy your music, it's who's spending the money, right? So if you know it's this bracket, that's who you're catering to.
Yeah.
As far as females, who would you like to work with in an ideal world?
We talking about signed artists?
I don't care.
Oh, the number one female artist that I want to work with. In my opinion, she's definitely underrated, but I think she's a great vocalist. Jasmine Sullivan.
I've actually heard of her, yeah.
She's the depth of her voice is like the first song I heard from her was
She did. Yeah, she
Stop
did.
Playing. Is she here?
Yeah, no. Well, sir, we can hook that up.
Oh,
Yeah, because we can hook that up. That's
yeah,
fine. All right.
Yeah, get.
Okay. Don't be bothered. Yeah.
I think the first song I heard from her was like, I bust the windows out your car. And I was like, ooh.
Violence we like.
It's what?
Okay.
It's sometimes like, the music, that aggressiveness in the music, sometimes like I just gravitate towards that. And I just like, yeah, I like that. And then her latest album is I fell in love with every single track. And she got a song called Forever Don't Last, and it's just like the way she starts it, she has like this low open register where like she is her voice is like so warm, and it's just like I'm in love with her voice. I'm in love with her because she a plus size girl, so I'm like, yeah, she thick one. So
all right, so I'm already envisioning the video. I'm already envisioning the video.
And it's just like her voice like is just I love the texture of her voice, and she's definitely the number one female artist I
Keep
would
it clean,
love
Nicole.
to work with.
Let me ask you, what country would you like to perform in first if you haven't already performed outside of the U.S.?
Oh man,
DR, baby, I heard that. Go ahead.
DR. Oh.
No, that's not. No, I heard the whispers in the back. Go ahead. What's yours?
I wouldn't mind going over and checking out the scene in Japan, see what's going on over there.
Smart.
Because like because it's odd and like whatever's like you can go over there and like you be popping over there, and I just want to check out to see what it's.
Why do you
like.
think? And because I have other people about to cut me, so I'm gonna go through a couple more questions. But why do you think Japan is popping? Huh?
I
know the answer. So what's your 2 cents?
It's different. Well, the one of the reasons is because I've noticed this. You might be big in your home country, but when you go to another country, you're bigger than what you are in your own hometown. For example, the Jonas Brothers, not the Jonas. I'm sorry. Wow, One Direction. They're from over there.
I'm gonna
They
do
came over
you
here.
one better. I was an economics major in school.
Okay.
It's a numbers game.
Really? That you're also
By sheer
you're right.
numbers.
You're right.
They
You're right.
also you can if you're black, that is the jackpot. I will walk you. All I have to do is fly your ass out. I'm not even kidding you. I will walk you and whoever else. Just give me 3 black motherfuckers and CDs and flyers, and you'll come back with everything sold: T-shirts, flyers, CDs, you name it. Why? Because you're different. They want something they are because they take everything that we do. Nike is theirs, but we made it ours.
Yeah.
Explain that.
I can't explain that. It's just something. It's I don't know. I guess like the effects of like the grass is greener on the other side.
Tell me where you're performing next.
My next performance actually is I am not sure yet.
That's okay. So tell people where they can find you so that they can stalk you for your next performance.
You can find me on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, E. Samson Jones, and you can find me there. And trust me, like the second I figure out where I'm gonna go.
But it's ESAMSON because a lot of people. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a dick.
Some
I put
people,
the P right.
Yeah,
I put
some people have the P. There's no P.
Right.
I can't explain
That's
this.
it.
There's no P.
Because I had to do when I did the promotion, I did like 3 times. So I had to keep going back and checking, and it kept deleting the promotion. I wanted to kill myself, but I was like, if I put the P in it, it makes it wrong. So
Yeah.
it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Last question: showcases. What do you get out of showcases, in your opinion?
What do I get out of showcases? I love performing, and I think one of my favorite things I like to do is perform. I like to perform on a card where everyone on the same caliber as me. This last showcase that we did, I enjoyed it because I knew half the other artists, and I know that like when they perform, they bring the A game. I know Shayla Set, I know Jelani who came in first. Congratulations, my man. Stan Michael was on the card, and it's just like Stan's my brother, my tag team partner, and like when I'm on the card with like great artists, it makes me perform better, and it's just like I don't like to go into a room and like being the best. That's why I like to surround myself with people who are better than I am, so I could
elevate.
Yeah, I could elevate myself, and I have to get to that next level. So I only want to perform with the best, and that card was in my opinion pretty stacked.
Well, that's what I said for you to come in 3.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying because I'm like, who? What? I said 3rd. I said, what's going on here? And that's what I was asking. That's why.
I didn't think I was gonna place at all. To be honest, I really didn't think I was gonna place at all.
All right, listen. I have other guests I have to interview.
Oh yes, ma'am.
We'll make out later. I gotta give you a high five. Thank you for coming down. But the write-up will follow, and then
Yes,
we will talk. I don't. Stan looks like he is in charge behind the scenes, which is good. It's nice to have a team. But I do think we'll talk so they get other promotion.
Yes, ma'am.
Other promotion behind, and then but get your events lined up.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we'll promote.
All right, I will do that.
I love it.
Thank you so
I'll see you
much.
later.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay. All right, we're switching. So, Jelani, are you ready? Yes, I am. All right, look at this. Look how the timing works.
It's beautiful.
All right.
I love it.
All right, just watch those headphones. I don't want you to.
Yes.
Yeah, switch it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep it rolling. That's fine.
Just go. Keep it rolling. All
Keep
right.
it rolling, yeah. Because I got a time crunch. Because now he was on CP time coming here, but on the way out he gonna be on white people time. So now yeah. Move on over. First place winner here.
What's up?
On the mic. So how are you?
Doing well, doing well.
I'll chit chat while you get yourself headphones and shit.
Okay.
I mean, you look like freezing. You got the hat and
I get
you okay?
cold. I get cold easily. So
Us people, yes, it's that I understand.
Yeah.
But You should have saw the outfit I was gonna wear. It's lace laps in the bottom line, so I had a full bodysuit. It was, but last time I was here it was freezing.
Yeah,
So he'll
yo.
tell you I had I'm wearing sweatpants.
I don't take no chances with the cold, especially not during this time or any time that has to do with the winter. So
I see. In any event, well, welcome. Okay, so I got a chance to listen to your tracks, but let me just go into some basics. First and foremost, tell everybody where you're from.
so I'm from Rockland County. In the
What
town.
is it with this Rockland
Yo,
County?
Rockland County is buzzing. We got a lot of dope artists out there. We just trying to get our names up. We just trying to bring the county up.
So I used to deal with a producer in Rockland County, and now I'm gonna have to hit him up. Chris, light skin, tall. He has a studio in his house. Actually, it's beautiful. He has a couple of artists under his label.
Really?
Very impressive. Right over the bridge, because I was recruited by Nyack College to play for them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go because it was I said
What position? What position?
I'm a 3. Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But and I did very well in the tryout. I
Yeah?
was shocked. I did 28 points. I don't know how that happened. It
Oh,
was
shit.
Jesus, but I didn't want to go. Bottom line, when you're in college sports, and it was a Catholic school. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it's
I
Catholic.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Christian.
Okay.
Sometimes, but when you see the rule book, I'm like, fuck this. I can't do this shit.
Nah,
so
yeah, it's different.
I didn't go, but I'm impressed that Rockland. So, and I'll get to this with the person who did the event. I'm just curious if it was just because of the locale of the event, or if this is just because talent traveled to get to the event. So now I got to figure this out. Politics behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about me. Okay, so Love Like This ice cream. Double scoop.
Yes.
It's funny because there's another behind the scenes story. I'll talk about that later
Okay.
with you. Anyway, I sent that to the person who had sent me the commentary.
Really?
They loved it. Anyway,
Nice.
what's interesting is women like music for them.
Mm-hmm.
And with the previous guest, the dynamic of the music is different. It's not rap, it's not hardcore. Your lyrics, although a little, I think that the music entices the female off the rip. Was that your intent, or?
Yeah, for this, I actually just wanted to try something different. I like to consider myself like a MC. Like I don't try to do the whole trap thing, or like the trap
Thank
lyrics
you.
and things like that. Yeah, that's not my thing. So I try to incorporate the lyrics with a different sound that I was trying to experiment with, and I got some good feedback
You said
from
experiment.
it.
So was that based on passion or based on the competition?
So no, actually, when I was making, it's part of a EP called "For You: A Love Story," and
Oh, okay, I did see that.
yeah. So
Is it 4? Is it the number 4 or For You?
it's number "For You."
See?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, "For You: A Love Story." Yeah.
Is that because of hashtag purposes?
Nah, it was just. yeah.
Wait before you answer.
Okay.
Okay. So here's another question. If a tree falls in the forest,
Mm-hmm.
does it make a sound?
If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Yeah.
Good answer, because you about to get torn apart. People answer this, and I always try to be nice and say there's no right or wrong answer, because I was going to shift it. If you answered it the other way, I shift the answer. My response. Because you don't want to make the person feel dumb. The answer is always yes. If a tree fucking falls in the forest, it makes a fucking sound.
So,
the
okay.
answer is, was you there to hear it?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay? So that comes down to marketing. So it's very important to understand. It does. Okay? So when I asked you how you did the play on words, it's because when you do a hashtag on something, you should be the number one thing that comes up.
Oh, okay.
So when
yeah.
you look
right,
at
right.
followers and things like that, that
Yeah.
should be the number one thing you're gunning for, so that when you come up, you are it. Nobody else should have your hashtag.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you that. Okay.
Okay.
More complicated questions. I hope you're ready.
Okay. Let's get into it. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Streaming is the way of the future. How do you feel, and how are you capitalizing? How do you plan on capitalizing?
Just creating music. I mean, we live in a time where.
That's not the question.
That's
So I'm talking about capitalizing. So you can create all the content you want. How are you making money on it? So whether it's and you are. The answer is you are, and you don't realize it. You're. I'm sorry, Nasty. So the producer behind this, he's on his job, which is why he's making this money. But let me tell you something. He is bossy, bossy, bossy. Now, but that's why the show comes out the way it does. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Let me get back to my question. Hang on. I have it highlighted. Let me go back to it. Right, streaming. So you can make all the content you want, right? I can be in my house and think about all these amazing ideas that can make lots of money. I don't do shit with it. you're there because you're on SoundCloud, and,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I haven't really been stalking you. I've only met you last week on Instagram.
Instagram,
Nice
yeah.
to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will be digging into your dirty laundry later on.
Okay, that's cool.
But the fact that you have SoundCloud, a lot of artists don't have that. So you obviously have a team behind you. You're serious about your craft, which a lot of people can't say. So being that streaming is the wave.
Yeah.
Mixtapes, lost art,
Yeah.
physical CDs
Yeah.
done. So how else do you feel on capitalizing going forward? Because that is a new wave. So what's the next step for you, I should say?
Well, I've got the SoundCloud, I've got the Spotify, Apple Music. Anything that comes out that's new, put it out there. Just try to like really hog the market. Really just try to put all of my stuff where it can be found.
Do you do any street marketing, guerrilla marketing?
A little bit. Like, I'll try to, aside from like shows and stuff like that, I'll try to like get my stuff out and.
How different is, and this may be complicated, are you from Rockland?
Yeah.
Your whole life?
Yeah.
So my cousins are from Rockland. Little background. 1 year I asked to see their yearbook. I'm into black men. So my cousins are white, black and white. And when I saw their yearbook, I was frightened. Now I thought my situation was bad. We had like 2 black kids in my 7th grade class. I was already all over one of the 2. Don't trust me. But I wanted to see what their ratio was, and I was even more upset because, to be quite honest, I could count, and I'm talking about like 300 or 400 kids, and she went to Clarkstown South.
Okay.
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 Bottom line, I think there was 5 kids and maybe like 300 or 400 kids in this whole big picture. How hard is it? Maybe it's different. That was years ago. Is it that different now, race wise still, or like what is the breakdown out there now? Or is it just that was one school and the other school is black? Like what's
yeah, because
how it is?
my experience was different. I went to a different school in Spring Valley called Ramapo High School, and
Oh,
it
we
was
know, yeah.
nothing but black people.
Really?
Yeah, it was nothing but black. Like
I'm
blacks.
looking at you.
Yeah.
Really? I'm like, okay. See, look, that's basketball for you. That's basketball. That's basketball.
Reflexes, yep.
Reflexes is crazy.
Yep. But yeah, it was out there like in
I got
in
it.
Val.
Right here, I got it.
Yeah.
Don't cause a scene, please. He ain't even see it. You causing a big fucking scene on the set. Thank you. Anyway, who do you want to work with? Who do you see yourself working with? It's early in your career, as far as I'm concerned, because even though you're put together, it's a journey. I think you can appreciate that,
Definitely
right?
is, yeah, absolutely.
Who do you want to work with in an ideal world?
I definitely want to work with my favorite rapper of all time, Nas. I have to
I love
work
Nas.
with him. Yeah, I have to work with him.
And why is that? Is it his lyrics?
Yeah,
or is it just,
he was really the one that kind of just like set the benchmark for me to like, if you had to ask me like who would you say inspired you the most to do what it is that you do, and it would definitely be him. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As far as music videos, I think that they've fallen off. I want to shoot myself. I have a great concept, math. We'll talk about that later. Let me just write this down because I'm going to forget this shit. There was 2 that, and then the BBQ and the rain. Don't nobody take that shit 'cause I'll cut everybody. Okay, awesome. So, speaking to videos, since Hype, and we're talking since the Aaliyah days, the early 2000s, really we haven't seen that much creativity with respect to videos. I do think that and I'm going to speak to your music, because that's what gets people interested off the rip. Just the intro. Whether like people are running to the dance floor. So when you have, I don't care how crazy I sound, right? Oh, look at this! I just turned it for the okay. Look, this is great. This is so fucking amazing. So great. This is amazing. There's no dead air, just air. This is great. Anyway, when you look at videos, that is really what sold a lot of people on music, especially in a certain era. I don't know about you guys, and again, I have no problem exposing myself. My mother, we only could afford cable. Had the free promotion for 3 months, you got cable and shit, so we had 3 months cable, and then we were behind the ball for 3 months, so we owed them money and shit, so we had cable for 6 months. But I got to see Remember the Time with Michael Jackson. That was on HBO or some shit. Bam. That was like one of the best videos ever in life.
Yes, absolutely.
But it set the tone for music videos, and that whole wave was the introduction, and it also was a way to cross-promote to different genres, depending upon how you were pitching your music. I think you can do that with yours. I think you can capture both audiences, which, guess what? That's where the money is.
Yeah.
I'm black and white, so I say what I want.
Okay.
The support, the support has not been in the black market, and there's all black motherfuckers in this room, and I think most people, in their heart of hearts, if they really thought about it, would agree with that statement, because the people who give you the hardest time to pay you or owe you some money is black motherfuckers. I had this problem my whole life. I don't care what you do for a person. The minute it's time to collect is a problem every single time, and it should not be like that. So when you look at that, and you have an opportunity to go both ways. And I know if people who are just tuning in like, both ways, what's Jay talking about? I'm talking about fucking money. Fuck that. You can think about what you want to think about. But if I can make the money in that white market, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas, this is like 2 years ago. First of all, I've only been to Vegas once. What a fucking mess. It's called You're Not Sleeping. When they say the city that doesn't sleep, you're not sleeping. Yeah. There's no, I'm not kidding you.
Really?
It's, huh? You don't even know what time of day it is.
Yeah.
They make the hotels indoors. When I came outside, I was like a fucking vampire. I'm like this. No idea what's going on. It was crazy. But all the DJs were white.
Really?
Paulie D.
Yeah, Paulie D.
Fam,
wow.
I was at this one event. There's a pool in the hotel, but it's a beach. I don't know.
That
I
sounds
woke
kind
up.
of lit though. That sounds pretty.
It was, if you've never been,
Never.
okay,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, man.
I didn't have enough money, but thank God I hit big at the I hit the casino table. I was there by myself at like 4 o'clock in the morning. No one believed, but I have screenshots of this shit. Anyway, but I only came down there with like $750 cash because I know me. Like you have to know you have to know who you are. I have certain addictions, and some are obvious because I'm on the show doing them. Others are not so apparent. Regardless, Vegas is all white driven. And that's something else I wanted to touch on briefly. When you look at life, everything is dominated by the white market. BET, owned by Viacom. Do your research on Viacom.
Yep.
So when people want to sit here and talk about black owned business and fuck Gucci and this, I want to see it.
Man.
Like, who are you supporting? Give me a designer you're wearing right now.
I actually don't really wear a lot of designer
That's a
stuff, to be
problem.
honest.
So what you need to do is get yourself acquainted with a couple of black designers that you're cool with. I'm serious.
Yeah, you know.
And there may be some in this room. I don't know, but that and again, this is, and I'm not picking on you.
No,
You can
for sure.
shadow box me later. Good luck. But my point is, I'm nice. My thing is, you have to start taking upon, when you need a video shot. I don't need Brad shooting it. I need Shabazz. Who's shooting your shit? Who's styling you? For women, whose makeup are you wearing? Things like that. And that's how the black community builds himself up. But in the meantime, we're slaves to a bigger ship.
Yeah.
Getting back to your project, do you have a project that is going to be released on a specific date? And if not, what are you working on in the interim?
No specific date, but I do have something that I'm going to drop for the summer. Yeah.
That's great. I think it's good timing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that because you need to have your promo situation together. Summer Jam is massive. Pour yourself out with flyers, both of you. Everyone in this fucking room. Big Zaddy, I'm talking to you. I know you're texting. I don't give a fuck. I know he knows. He can hear me with his Nike hat. He knows. I'm coming for that hat too. Yeah. All I'm saying is this is your time because as each year passes, they're thinking of more ways to hinder your growth, right? Your competition becomes stronger and stronger, and things really do become about numbers. I have no problem speaking to my Instagram. My numbers are skewed. I put a hashtag in, and I got like 4,000 followers literally overnight. Like bullshit. That's not a good thing because these are people who I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'll notice that I have a drop off of like 200 followers or this, and that's fine because we don't have anything in common. So sometimes you get followers that are not yours. That's why when you look at numbers, it matters, but it doesn't matter. That's why sometimes the views don't make sense. It's all about the demographic that person's catering to and really what kind of footwork you're putting in the industry. It's all about repeat business. I'm all about stalking. I'll tell that story when I get to Big Daddy East. I have a story for him. But marketing is major, especially the actual hand-to-hand because no one does it anymore. Okay, people think like, I have an event coming up. Let me post it on Instagram. Nobody fucking cares. There's like a million events going on. And then they want to call you, Jay, how come you wasn't there? That flyer sucked. First of all, that flyer looked like your grandmother's wake invitation. No bullshit. Like item May. Like get the fuck out of here. That shit had no flair to it.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed. People don't do listening parties. Everybody wants things for free. No one has a budget. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to come out with their hands out, and it's like, first of all, your project isn't that hot, and I think you'll get that, right? When you walk
Yeah,
into
of course.
certain showcases, and this one apparently was a good one. this isn't your first rodeo. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've been into some showcases where you're like, please stab me now. Like, where's the exit? Because I just paid whatever.
Yeah.
And this is another thing I want to, we'll touch on another show. I'll do a live or something in my lace and shit. But people do showcases and collect money, don't promote. Everybody wants to collect. There's one thing to collect, and they don't see anything on the other end. I got nothing from this whole situation. Neither party has won here. And the promoters walked away with like $1,000.
Yeah.
For what? The promoters even like you motherfuckers. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't even, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's also, if you look at the showcases have been minimized, right? When you look at all the conferences between, people, white people shooting these things up, nobody wants to do a showcase or a conference anymore. They just shot Vegas up. Like, they're shooting up clubs now. So it's like they're deterring from potential opportunities where we were making money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing South by Southwest next, is it 2 weeks from now? Next week. Math? Next week? Right? South by Southwest and A3C is probably the last of the Mohicans. Why do I say that? That's the last of the Mohicans. Everything else can go to, like, that's it. Everything else is localized.
A3C is dope too.
A3C is, and to be quite frank, A3C is the cheapest.
Yeah.
If you want to go, I did a whole write-up about Blast It Again. A3C is the cheapest between the price points. I don't give a fuck if you Greyhound it, which I've done. It was supposed to be some tornado. It took me 18 hours to get to Atlanta. Fam, I wish I do have some footage. It was a shit show.
Yeah.
The people on my bus, this is why you fly.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Fist fights on the bus. I'm not kidding. One of the windows on the top was broken, so it was raining. It was a monsoon coming in the bus. Because that's why I didn't fly. It was a hurricane. So they drove all the way. I went through like 18 different states. The bus driver had the shits. We were stopping every other part. Let me tell you something. It was the best conference I've ever been to. Really? Certain conferences you go to just because it's not New York.
Yeah.
Somebody else said, matter of fact, E. Sampson said it earlier. I always say it. New York hates you. Just so you know. If you didn't know that, now you know. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm sorry, not quote. I fuck it, I'll say it. I said it. New York hates you. New York hates you. They're not winning, they don't have pom-poms in New York. They're not rooting for you. Why? Because you're their competition.
Yeah.
You don't see Pepsi outside going, that Coke is yummy. Hell fucking no. They hope you choke on that shit. Straight up. Okay? And that's what it comes down to. Everything is a competition in New York. And there's certain rappers who shall remain nameless, and I talk about this all the time. They've been here for 10 years.
Yeah. I feel like that's just like the New York thing though, where like everyone's in competition.
That's
like,
dope if they making money, boo. But if not, what's it all about, Alfie? What are we doing? I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Every summer, it's the same 5 people on stage. Oh, woo! Yes. What are y'all doing? That's all I'm saying to you.
Yeah,
you have a
sure.
sound that I think affords you. You could be in Europe. The two of you, to be quite frank. And Big Zaddy's too. We're going to take his ass apart. I got questions on that for him. I hope he's ready. But these are the types of artists that I do like to see because it is a rarity. I'm bored to tears. When I get music submitted to me, I want to stab myself in the face with a dull pencil. Speaking of dull pencils and new music and collabs, I asked somebody else, female artists they want to work with. Let's talk about crushes.
Ooh.
Give me a celebrity crush.
Her. H-E-R.
Ooh, I also could be arranged. It's interesting.
Janae Aiko.
I can't do that. All right, so that's interesting. Okay. And then there's no upcoming events, you said. Tell us social media. Give me social media. Give me like websites and any panhandles you have that you want to.
Sure. Everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all Jelani Jeffries, JelaniJeffries.com.
Spell it.
JELANIJEFFRIES.
Thank you. Because some motherfuckers like to get dyslexic.
Yeah.
We had this conversation
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
I put extra letters in. It's a problem. And that's why you ain't see. I have it written down. I said, you do it because I'm not screwing this up. I can't do it.
Yep.
It's been a privilege having you here.
Thank you.
I'm going to stalk
appreciate
you as soon as this is done.
Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate you.
Matt, can we get some outro music, or do I have to? Can I just hold his hand? Okay. Your hands are nice. Those are soft. Those are nice.
Thank you.
Very important.
Yeah.
Manicured.
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers like
Take care of yourself.
Listen,
Protect your energy.
Some motherfuckers got feet that like they kick bricks, and their hands sandpaper. Kill yourself. I'm serious. It's very important because when you're, especially if you're in the artist and in the element of having to engage.
Presentation.
Can you imagine that?
Everything.
Get some lotion. You need like an Avon sponsor. I'd be looking at him like, you need like a. Oh. And now you're off the hook. Now you're off the hook. Okay, listen. There's food somewhere for you. You didn't eat yet, right?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm not gonna poison you.
No, I know. I'm straight.
You're too young for me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna Bill Cosby your situation.
All right.
You'll be okay.
Okay.
All right. Nice. We're gonna take pictures. Do you have to go somewhere? And if you have to go,
No, I'm good.
if you have to go, let me know.
Okay.
But I would also what I do like to do, guys, just so everybody's aware. I know you've been in your phone. I hope you're ready for me. Yeah. Okay. All right. What I normally like to do is have everybody take a picture on the back end, which expands everybody's networking because everybody gets the same hashtag, the same @ So they're like, oh, who's in this picture? And then you just start to see how things kind of blossom. What? What happened? I don't care. You're so what? They listen.
Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop.
Oh, we back live? Okay, we back live. So back to Lace Laughs in the bottom line. I have Big Zaddy East in the building.
Yeah. I got the claps. That's what's up.
That's the well, that it's called hired help. That would be me and Math in the background. So I appreciate that. First and foremost, thanks for making the trip out. Big up to Yanni, who always is sending me high end talent, and that's hard. I don't know if you realize how hard her job is, because I don't even listen to the music she sends until I have business on the table. Like, that says a lot. She just says,
Understandable.
Jay, this is what it is. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Other people, I want my money first before I even waste my time listening to music and things like that, because a lot of music out here is basura. Who's Spanish here? Did I say that right? Garbage? Garbaggio? Yes, everybody happy with
No,
that?
Basuda, you said it right.
I'm okay? I'm okay, yeah.
You good.
Let me find out. Okay, so all right, so you started. I was going to go into my little montage, but since you started this shit. Where are you from, please? I know, but let's tell everybody else where you're from, please.
I'm from Brooklyn, East New York.
Woo! Speaking of Brooklyn, being that you're also a rapper and on the plus side model of things.
Yeah.
Shout out to Biggie.
Yeah.
I'm wearing actually Notorious, who is Tiana Small's brand.
daughter, yeah.
I was there Friday. That was interesting. She has a new store on Atlantic Avenue. I want to say 509. Don't quote me. I'll post it later. Very interesting. I spoke earlier and said about supporting black businesses on the same strip. I like you. You're proactive.
Yeah.
This is. I like this. This is great action. Vinny's is also on the same strip. I think it's important to support people who support us. So shout out to them. Speaking of Biggie, we would not be complete in this show. We didn't talk about the fact that it's been 22 years, yesterday actually, that he was taken from us. He's not the only rapper that's been killed. 2018, not so crazy, but in years past, it's been a little hot with rappers and artists being murdered. What do you think about violence and hip hop and today? Loosely. You don't have to go crazy.
Unfortunately, it's part of the culture now. And that's just, I mean, if we're going to be honest about it, we got to be brutally honest about it. Drill music is heavy right now. Like, that's pretty much the #1 thing in New York right now is drill music. You know what I mean? If you want to go back to the views on YouTube, and if you really do your research, I mean, that's what's going on right now.
I guess
All
the
violence.
bigger question then is, so one of the main questions that I normally ask artists, number one, is does art imitate life or does life imitate art? And the reason I ask that question is the speech being spoken of because of personal history or vice versa? So obviously we don't have to get into that on a personal level, but I do think that you have two different type of artists. Artists that speak to their truth or truth that they witness. And I'm not mad at either, to be quite frank, because one is it's more biographical, the other is more as a commentary. You know, they're a spectator. So I'm not mad because you're still in the same situation, just on different playing fields. It's different positions on a basketball team. It's the same parallel. So when you speak to your music, I had the privilege of interviewing Chinks before he passed, like literally like a month before he passed, and I asked him these types of questions because when you have music, are you speaking your truth, or is it that this is what you see and let me put this back out there to you? Like, what is your craft more or less? Is it unfortunately your circumstances, or is it just like this is what I'm in and I'm kind of you know what I'm saying? So tell people more or less what, because again, one of your main things, and if you notice here, number 10, something I normally ask is, it says music is an escape for some listeners. What feeling do you hope to bring to your fan base? And one of the interview questions I asked with Yanni, and your response was that you thought that music was an outlet to you because you realized that your speech helped change people's emotions.
Absolutely.
So those two things I think tie in to each other, and that, you know, people can listen to you and understand, okay, I can commiserate, or A, B, I don't agree with what you're saying. So talk to me about a little bit about that. A lot of questions there, so you pick one.
Okay, so the first question, pretty much, when you're an artist, when you're an artist, your job is to paint pictures, paint an illusion. at whatever cost, I guess you could say, whether you want to speak from personal experiences or if you want to speak on a friend or a brother or somebody else, you know, these things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. So as an artist, whether you're, I'm not gonna say fabricating, but whether you're painting a picture to the consumer and allowing them to think that you're something that you're not, or allowing them to think that these things have happened to you, and shit, you know, sometimes it be real. You know what I'm saying? But as an artist, your job is just to connect with the consumers, pretty much at the end of the day. And I said, you know,
Thank
whether or not it's real or false. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is our career.
You hit the main thing for the afternoon. I want to take a picture with you though. Can you give me like a few minutes? Like, give me like, can you like 10 minutes, and then please. This is what I would like to say about that last exchange. As far as the demographic, that's the button. The fact that you know you have an audience to cater to, that's who's supporting your sales.
Yeah.
Now, I know that, again, I took these questions for a written interview that I did blast, and that's great, but tell everybody who you want to work
So
with,
good.
ideally, you know, going forward, ideally. I know you've worked with some people
Yeah.
on a high-end factor, but who would you like to see yourself working with?
Rihanna.
I'm waiting for her to do something. Isn't it? I'm so annoyed with her makeup. Go ahead. Don't laugh. That's true. You mad too. Go ahead.
I mean, you got to start at the top. You know, I'm a Rihanna fan. You know
I
what I'm
love
saying? I
Rihanna.
think her music is dope. You know what I'm saying? She's beautiful.
I love her.
The Jay-Z's, and you know, if you from Brooklyn, that should be on every Brooklyn rapper list right there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, kidding me? Meek Mill. I'm also a Jadakiss fan.
Love Jada.
And then it's gonna bug you
Was
up
you
right
here on
here.
Friday?
No, I wasn't.
We going shadow box because you know who I was politicking with. We gonna talk about that behind the scenes. I'm gonna talk about that later on. We gonna fight. Anyway, let me get to the next question. Yeah,
We gonna fight?
I'm not scared of you.
Nah, don't
I
want
played
you to be
against
scared
girls
of
your
me.
size, unfortunately. I mean, and that's and you know what's crazy? That's why I didn't play college basketball. I walked in and this is a good looking man right here. But when you got a girl who's this man's dimensions with a wig on, you understand what I'm saying? You got to question that. 19, 20, you know, I'm going to the college tryouts. I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. And her name was like Ida. Where they got her from? I said, I can't do it. White chick.
That remind me of like Joanna, man, or some shit right there. Ida.
Yeah, times 3. Yeah, it wasn't no skinny chick, man. It was like some big, you know what I'm saying? Can't do it. Okay, so every successful business person has a team to thank. I know a couple you better think off the rip because if not, my phone gonna be ringing in about 30 seconds. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to thank rather? And why are they important to what you got going on now? Because the team is important.
I definitely want to thank. Man, my bad.
Don't knock this shit over now. I got cleaned up.
My fault. I definitely want to thank my record label.
I love it, Ohana.
yeah.
Ohana.
Oh,
I love it.
big shout outs to Ohana, and we got a sweater for you, by the way. As
Thank
well.
you. You see, I wear it. I wear my shirt. It's nice.
Yeah. Bama, what I said. Big shout outs to my little brother Bama too, man.
That's your little brother?
Yeah, that's
I
the
hate to see
little
your big brother. You got a big brother?
Nah, I'm the oldest. I'm
Oh, you the
of
oldest?
4. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 4. Yeah.
Oh, I like this. This is so. It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Can keep talking.
I'm the
Wait, hold
oldest of
on. What
4.
you doing with this gator jacket on? First of all,
Oh,
Florida.
big shout outs to Starter. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Tex, you affiliated? We're gonna talk
brand
about
ambassador of Starter. So you know.
Carl Banks.
Yeah.
Yes, fool.
Big shout outs to
Tex.
Carl Banks.
Stop.
Big shout outs to Carl
Style by
Banks.
chick from Brooklyn. Yeah, I know. I got
And
it.
Grizz. Big shout outs to Grizz.
Listen, okay,
Yeah.
Tex, we see you, boo. You working tonight, boo. I didn't listen. I thought I was gonna be here with some air blowing. I had on some cute lingerie, but I don't know what happened. It was.
That's crazy. We know the same people. Big shout outs to Tex.
Yeah,
man.
hello. We know the same. But
Carl
that's how
Banks,
you
a
know-
Giants legend.
I love.
man.
Listen.
Diehard Giants fan, by the way, and a diehard Knicks fan. I heard
Thank you.
Yeah.
Listen. Thank you.
Let's do that.
And I know you have you're a few months younger than I am, lightly, but the Knicks was always something that I liked to watch until recently. Hopefully, we turn that around. I like our new coach. It's a hot mess. You know, I just want to see the Knicks win.
And look, this
not
how you know
year.
you a Knicks fan. I'm excited to see us lose. Like that shit excites me. Like let's go Zion, right? Could you get on that bandwagon? Let's, you know what I mean? Let's go out and get that boy, man.
That's interesting. And again, I
Turn
said
New York
earlier
City around.
that sports and music are similar with respect to growth.
Absolutely.
People always want to come on your ass when you're at the concert and opening up for Drake or some shit, but you wasn't there at all these events helping me build my fan base, and people don't really understand how big it is. How about this? A lot of clubs are closing, and I don't want. I'm not going to cut your questions off. I'm just going to say this real lightly. A lot of clubs are closed. A lot of venues are not entertaining black artists anymore because guess what? No black people own these venues, so they cut off everything. You can't perform. They limit where you can get your exposure from. So with that, you have to capitalize where you can. You have to support black businesses. You have to end up, if not supporting, creating your own.
Yeah.
This is something you have to do. When people, this is great. These need to be sold all over the place. Everything has to be full circle. The fact that Carl Banks is that in tune with Starter, and Starter's a brand that's affordable. Starter's not, that's what Marbury was trying to do, and nobody respected it.
That's a
Marbury
fact.
came in with like 15 sneakers in what's it, Harry and I'm blanking, Dick and Harry's or something like that. Okay, well, thank you, Stephen Barry's or something like that. Some what was it? Nah, there was a store, there was a retail store where you could get stuff for, decent prices. In other words, I can give you the product because this is the price when there's no reason for the profit to just be put in my pocket. There's so many people who can be benefiting that don't. Speaking to that, I see you have your own apparel line.
Yeah.
Outside of this and social media, and I'm sure summertime is hot for you. Give me a couple of events that you're doing the next, 2 months.
Okay, so big shout outs to South by Southwest. I got a couple shows and SOBs lined up. And not to stray away from this question, but last question. I want to thank my management, Gusto, King Ollie, OMG, which is the label. Big shout outs to Miss Yanni. You know what I'm saying? The energy, trust me, is all love on this side. And who else? Big shout outs to East New York, man. Shout outs to my town, man. You know what I mean? Because we really come from nothing.
But
Feel
that's
me?
what I'm saying. So and then again, it's all about education. Once we get to where we have to go, it's all about staying together. Black people hate each other so much. I can't stress that enough, fam. I'm not even kidding you. I can't. I'm serious. I'm listen. I'm black and white, so I have family on both. When I go to certain households, like you got the light skinned black aunts hating the dark skinned black. Like what kind of
Yeah, that's
crazy
crazy. I
shit
heard
is this?
stories like that,
This- I'm
yeah.
serious. Islanders people. And
Yeah.
then on top of everything, my stepfather's Hispanic. So he's like the dark skin. He looked like Arsenio Hall. Meanwhile, all his sisters is like light skin. So there's all this racism that we have within our own, and all we're doing is killing each other.
Very
So
true.
I don't know what to say. I'll be stalking you. I need your links. We have a promo run that we're doing. So get used to him.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? First of all.
Go on Instagram, Big Zaddy East. That's Big Zaddy East, exactly like that. Not Daddy, but Zaddy with a Z. You know that's a New
How'd
York
you get
thing.
that?
So originally we started out as Big East, originally, which
Go ahead.
you said you played ball, so you know like that's like the conference.
Hello.
So it was taking a lot of my links and my hits away when people were looking for me. The conference was popping up. So, I sat down with the team and, we went with Zaddy. It's marketable, it's funny. And by all means, shout outs to all my killers out there, you know what I'm saying? I better not hear y'all calling me Zaddy. I mean, like, we ain't playing that type of game. That's for the ladies. But we felt like it was marketable. We went back, did our research. Big Daddy Kane made it work. Puff Daddy made it work. So,
Again, women are the market, booby. So you hit it right on the head. Like you have to take all that money, and if
Definitely.
they're gonna give it to you, and you look like a zaddy. Let me tell you something. You look like you're a little bit bigger than I can handle, but I could tell you there are women all over your shit right now because you are very attractive in the face, and
Thank you.
and that's half the battle. You know how hard it is to be ugly and market, motherfuckers? It's hard. It is. You have to be semi good looking, and you have
I
that.
feel like when you're ugly, you got to be a gangster or something.
What does that mean? So you're gonna R. Kelly me? I don't have energy for this. I'd rather you Bill Cosby a situation and crush some pills and knock out. You know what I'm saying? Hit me in the morning.
Yikes.
Uber it, wipe it down. Okay, do not Where is BR at? Because
Yikes.
I want to get a picture of everybody before people go. Oh. Is, oh, is he? Okay. Because can you do me a favor? I want to have a picture before we all go. You gave me your link so I can stalk you. I already know what to stalk you at, but somebody else can stalk you.
Yeah.
Please, so
So
we could get this picture right quick.
you guys could go on my Facebook fan page, Big Zaddy East, exactly like that, no underscores or anything, and Instagram. You know that's where I'm most active. Big Zaddy East there as well.
I'm just curious. One last question. So back to this starter jacket because we got caught up with Tex and Carl Banks and the whole thing. But why Florida? Is it just because this is the color scheme? Because this is the Knicks color scheme, so I'll let that pass. I'm just curious because I have a situation like this in my house, and motherfuckers was like, "You Jay, how you gonna wear that?" And I was like, "It's the Knicks colors, and this shit is fire. You won't be mad."
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was something of the Knicks, which is clearly not, it's the Florida Gators.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying the color scheme is the same. So I'm just asking, why this jacket? Are you into the Gators or what is your politics?
Nah, I'm a Notre Dame fan, by the way.
So it's just because you like the. All right,
Yeah,
it's,
you know,
just
it's
say that.
a swaggy jacket.
I
You know,
love
big shout outs
it.
to these Nike Technos I got on too.
Don't
I'm trying
do that,
to
'cause
bring
there's
that
a whole,
wave
I
out.
have a whole Nike situation with Kaepernick and the whole. Are you following that?
Sort of, kinda, sort of, kinda. I'm aware though.
Okay.
I'm aware. I know what's going on with
It's a
that.
hot mess. It's been a privilege.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to finish talking you. Oh, that's so nice, Mom. Is she still with you?
Absolutely.
I love it. You're
Absolutely.
very
Big shout
lucky.
outs to Mom Dukes. Absolutely.
That should have been number one shit, because she going to beat your ass when when you see her next. She going to be like this. I heard
Possibly.
the interview. Yeah. Matt,
Possibly.
can
I
we
like
get
it.
some
I like your
submission?
nails too. I like that. That look good
Do
on
you
you,
like
man.
that?
Yeah, I like that.
didn't like
pink.
them. Somebody else said they love them. My manager was like, he liked my nails. I said, listen, I think they like Pepto Bismol on the blender. I mean, I ain't get my tan yet, so I'm looking extra Kylie Jenner. Ooh, I don't care. That's okay, the makeup maven. I need me some. Give me fancy. We got Kylie. What, right, Kylie? You gonna take the picture? Can I trust you? No, I'll trust you. You just text it to me. As long as you don't. Let me see your face.
gotta reach around. That's a 1, 2, 4. I get down, stop and get down on the floor. This one, 1, 2. I got about the brute.
Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Don't stop.
Ready? Okay, good. And I'm back from a bathroom break because that was like vicious. Like, first of all, I couldn't even find the bathroom. I get lost in this building. Again, shout out to Math and courtesy of S.STREET Media. We're here to work. It's nice to be back. It's a live action. I'm here with a regular guest. And BR, how are you first and foremost?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I mean, listen, that was kind of, and this is a light interview. I'll be back. I'll be happy to be back. If Matt will have me like next Sunday, I'll have to see if he's available. So let's just get off. For people who haven't seen recent interviews, I know last night you was at the Vandal Hour. Let's talk to Money and Violence and just get that off the top. For people who do not know you as an artist, the visible notoriety comes from Money and Violence. Would you agree?
Correct.
Okay. So the first 2 seasons, that's why I'm such a fan. So the reason why Money and Violence to me was such a big hit is because I'm into villains. And Tony Soprano for me, was, even though they try to play him out to be the good guy, I'm like, he wasn't the good guy. Like, he was a beast. And most people can't, all right, this is done. I'll have to get this from you, Matt. I hope you have the footage. Tony Soprano to me was the embodiment of the organization. Everything moved behind him. And I think that came across with respect to you and Money and Violence in your role. You had soldiers and henchmen. They mentioned it yesterday. A lot of people fell in the last episode. You know, I'm picking up garbage and finding bodies all in one situation. It's cool. But season 3 may not be. I know it's still, there's a lot of politics involved. There's the projects being worked on.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. Now that that's out the way, I also am aware that you had different passions, one of which was acting, the other which was music. And really music was the prerequisite to acting. And through pitching the music, you ended up getting a role with Money and Violence, which I don't want to, you know, we can shadowbox later, but no disrespect, but you're kind of, because when I call someone the Cardi B of something, it's a compliment. So I hope you don't take it any other way. Sprayground, for example, is somebody else who I feel is in a similar situation, and I'll go into that another time, but you are like the Cardi B of acting with respect to music, because Cardi B, what she did was created a fan base on a national level prior to music. Like, people may not know that you do music, but they know you. Mm-hmm. That's the key. That's all I care about. I don't give a fuck. Like, right? Like, so I can sell anything once we know each other, right? So what Money and Violence did, and this is what I don't think a lot of people get, and I'm speaking loosely, so if someone has a problem, you have my phone number. But when you have things like this where the whole situation doesn't go as planned, right, and people are upset in the back end, what did you do with your potential branding opportunities? And I think you did a great job with taking the market that they gave you and working it to fit your model. A lot of people don't understand that things are temporary. So unless you're evolving products, whether that's music, I know you also do apparel, Local Life is the brand.
Correct.
Also Smart Play. Everything's a smart play. When you do marketing, Local Life, the hashtag, I mean, yikes. So it's, what do you attach yourself to? Talk a little bit about Local Life and how you came to that phrase.
Local life derived from the lifestyle I lived. I've experienced some crazy things in life. You know what I'm saying? And because of those crazy things, I didn't know how to enter the game. Like, entering the game, I had to figure out what image, you know, I wanted to be known for, like what I wanted to be known for. And I wanted to be known for being real. You know what I'm saying? Being a realist. A lot of people aren't real with themselves, and to be real with someone else, you got to be real with yourself first before you can be real with anyone. I try to tell that to everybody that come around me. You know what I'm saying? I try to spread the word, spread the message around me. But I've experienced some crazy things, and one of the things that I always bring up on most of my interviews is the loss of my sister. Yes, correct.
That's something I always remember. I've interviewed you before. I'm sure you remember being tortured. So some of the basic stuff I've skipped, people are going to be like, well, you didn't ask me. He's tired of me. This is someone I've worked with forever. But the loss of a sibling has gotten, I'm very sorry for that, because I look at how my relationships are with my siblings, and I can't imagine. But because she was in the middle of a shootout, correct?
Correct.
So speaking to violence, and this is something that's not just here. Chicago it's main stage. Miami. I mean, pick up any TV station. You're gonna see some kind of crazy show on the news. So, what do you think your message can be going? Because I think your message is a little bit different. It's not one note. I'm looking forward to your new project, March 28th.
28th.
What can we expect based on your experiences with your sister, the fact that it's based on gun violence? What can we expect from your new project?
I'm expressing myself through this project a little bit. I'm not giving them too much, but instead of me, I've learned how to channel my anger and to a positive way. You know what I'm saying? And I channeled it into my drive which is my passion for this entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? So I could have easily been drifted away from what my aim was making it in the game. That's my overall goal. You know what I'm saying? I've sacrificed so much to even be here right now where I am.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
speaking of sacrifice, because I can see the emotion. Yeah, take your shit off, because I'm this is listen. If you guys see what I had some cute shit underneath. I was like, nah, don't do anything crazy. And then last time, I swear to God, it was brick balls in here. I came here with this cute outfit on. It was for real. I started wearing a sweatshirt. It is hot. When I lost my train of thought. Work ethic, and it I hate it. It's called ADHD. The pot doesn't help, and neither does drinking. But you were speaking towards just being passionate about your drive and going forward with you on your own, okay, which is tough. Speak to that, because there was another question. It'll come back to me, but speak to being the fact that you're on your independent, the adversities in general. A lot of things have been taken away from artists, and again, I hope black people are realizing this. Like, white folks, okay. Leo Cohen said it best. He's like, I made Spotify basically not for the artist, for the person doing the promotion. Spotify was created so they can harpoon where your talent was. That's it. Watch this. I have a tag, the interview. So when you know certain things are working for you and against you, you have to figure out how you're going to make it work for you opposed to against you. So because you've been privy to the social media success, if you will, outside of working with me, what's your next step with promotion? Because I'm going to tear you apart the next 6 months. I hope you. That's why I can't really get into it. This interview is kind of comical, because it's like I'm asking questions. I'm kind of like it's kind of like funny. Like I'm like, what do you? So
but the thing about it is, like, I'm looking forward to it all, because the next step, I already know you're going to help me make it to that next step. And working with you, just the beginning of working with you alone, the conversations we've had was different from any other conversation I've had with any other publicist. You know what I'm saying?
This is what's crazy. Again, so bringing back to the Cardi B situation. The reason why Cardi B is successful is not because Cardi B is a great rapper. I think we can all agree that Cardi B is okay. Let's be honest. I didn't say that she's not successful. I didn't say she's not marketable, but her rap skills are okay. I think that everybody can agree that there's somebody in their borough that can beat Cardi at any open mic, but that's not up for debate. Cardi B is successful. Why? Because of her work ethic, her drive, her fan base, her consistency, and the fact that she did not stay in one state. Again, I'll say it one more time. If you are from New York and you live here, that's nothing you have to a certain advantage of yours. You also ride out of here in Atlanta. I got it. I'm time good. The white half of me, listen, we going into times, man. Light a Newport up or something, cause yeah. You have the foundation on a national level, and when I say that, think about this. In New York, you can't walk around, right? In Atlanta, you can't. Certain states, you can't walk around. When you get to states like Texas for South by Southwest, you're in a room with people. You're having a conversation. This guy is thugged out. How many bodies does he have, right? Seriously. So I always talk to the thugs. I buy him a drink first. I'm like, yeah, it's double shot of Hennessy. Get it real nice. I swear to God, this is true. This is everywhere I go. I'm serious. Everywhere I go, double shot of Hennessy, and then I move in for the kill. So what are you doing here? He's like, yeah, la la. I'm like, he's a fucking axe murderer, and you get this scope of what's going on in that realm. And I said, well, where are you from? Now we're at South by Southwest. It's a meeting place for music. It's like being at DJ Con or like one of these cosmic cons with like a Pokemon outfit on. Like people are gonna come to you. So I said, well, what are you here for? And he's he goes over his realm, but he's not gonna tell you until you coherence, because he's a thug. He wants to come across as a thug. So I said, well, where are you from? Now, mind you, I wear my Yankee hat. I always have a Yankee hat on or some inappropriate hat. I always have an inappropriate hat on, always. I always have some fucked up hat on that says, kill yourself. So he says, well, he says, like, I forget, like, Oklahoma. Black dude. So I'm like, they make you in Oklahoma, right? So I'm like shocked. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm dead up. Bottom line, I said, there's black people in this state. Like, you don't come across this. Now, when he tells you how many people is in his demographic in his city, and you realize all you gotta do is go to a couple of cities and kill them there, in those couple of cities, it's done. That's it. So you in New York battling that, the budget, my chain. All that Gucci. Motherfuckers is on PayPal right now selling that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. It's true. You take that $700 shirt you bought 2 weeks ago, and now you're selling it for $350. Or you Supreme. Supreme what? You know Supreme? You know Supreme? Fuck out of here. Like, what are you putting money into? I'm on a plane. I'm wearing a, this is black shit. This is black shit. This is, yes, this is H&M jeans, but this is before that monkey nonsense. And again, on some black and white shit, white people don't think that monkey thing is racist. It's like that little monkey, like, oh, it look like a little cute monkey, like, that's like a term. Like, it's weird. Like, it's not like racist. It's weird. Like, and I'll be honest, with the Gucci thing, this is what's crazy. I'm into fashion. And because I'm black and white, I didn't look at it as some racist shit. I looked at it as, I thought it was I hear you. Thank you, Booby. I looked at it as, because he's going to be interviewed all afternoon. He got I'm thinking it's a turtleneck with lipstick on. It wasn't somebody was like, it's blackface. Black people only give a fuck when we feel violated. Why haven't we made shit? Here's another point. Influx of goods in the late 99s, 2000s. How many black clothing lines did we have at the same time? Aniche, Fubu, Baby Fat, Carl Kanai. We could be here all day, okay, right? 15, Azore. Seriously, right? Why they do it all at the same time? So that you guys had competing with each other. And that's so one person could be successful. It wasn't like Tommy versus Aniche. All right? They did this on purpose.
How about using damage? Was that black on?
One more time?
Use damage.
The fact I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Huh?
Use damage.
Use damage. The clothing.
No.
What? Yo, it's Jenna.
With my face.
Jenna.
I did fashion shows. We'll talk about.
Come on, the using the damage with the, you don't remember?
You can do it
with the running man.
Listen, and you lucky you got a couple more shows after this. But I'm just, I've been doing this for 20 something years, but so I don't give you have a je ne sais quoi that people cannot buy. So that's why it's easy to work with you. So his interview, I don't give a fuck. I'll be here next Sunday. He'll be here later on. He traveled from here to Atlanta. I ain't worried. But I'm actually working with BR. For me, this is light work, and the reason why I feel that is because there's a fan base already. All you have to do is push a different product. You have apparel. There's all these things that come with the product, IEU, which is the brand. People don't realize that. A lot of people want to call themselves designers. No, you have an iron press in the house, and niggas is laughing, but I'm dead serious. I'm serious, and people, and this is why people call me up. Jay, what do you think? I think it sucks. I think it sucks. It sucks. The lettuce is peeling off. I washed it one time. Before I ever rep a product, I always wear the outfit once or twice. You know, just to make sure if it's falling apart, hey, listen, the sleeve is missing. And the white half of me writes corporate letters like a bitch. You would have thought I spent $400 in Fendi. The sleeve fell off. The stitching came out.
Hey, I'm working on the apparel, but I don't think I'm a designer though.
But that's the difference. We will have a listening party set up. That'll be inside stuff. Matthew will be there. That'll be at an undisclosed location. Your birthday party's the 28th. Kill yourself with your sign. Happy birthday, though.
No birthday party though.
But yet, that's when your album is being dropped.
Yeah, I'm focused all on that.
Right, that's fine. But again, you'll have that's the party, but there'll be a prelim to the release. Yeah. And that's what I think. A lot of people don't do that. You can have a party with your best friends who secretly hate you. We can all pop bottles and have a good time, right? Or we can have a real meet and greet with executives who want to talk about the product, work with you, do collabs, and think about ways to link. And that's what a lot of people are missing. Also, last thing before I go, you'll be stuck with me before.
It's all good.
What's your website, boo? What's your website?
Locolife.com, baby.
Spell it though.
LOCOLYFE.com.
Now, on the back end of everything, what I like about working with new talent, when I say new, he's not new. New people in general is new energy, it's new attitudes, it's new vibes. Summertime's coming up. Your repertoire should be squared away until September. Math knows I'm already a psycho. I know what I'm doing the next couple of months.
So dope. It works well. Psycho working with the local.
Crazy. I don't know if this is a bill collector or what. It's like you compare like those college student loan debt. You be like, please hold. Like so, I have to call you back. But I think that I'm looking forward to the next 6 months because first of all, it's warmer. There's no more snow showers. Okay, you have summer jam and different things coming up. We'll have a full schedule for you and. Math with his peace sign. We're gonna be out of here. What's the show on deck after this, Math?
Crowds and Head Times.
I like. Those my people from your event. Ah! You gotta have fun this show. Oh, they pretty too. You better behave yourself, boo. I'm sorry right now.
I'm chilling.
Oh, it's hot. Okay, so I'm excited. Matt, thanks for having me. What's on the schedule next week, boo? Can I come back?
Yes.
Am I violated?
Oh, no,
Can I come back? What do you? All right, my nigga. Okay, so what we doing?
Hold on. Y'all there? You there?
He's there.
You
I
there?
can beat y'all. Let me go. Yeah, I'll link y'all. That's done. Oh, Jack. And that's done.
All right, cool. We're gonna link up.
That's done. All right, good. So we're great. That was easy, kiddies. I love it. Anybody else going to South by Southwest? Whoever's calling me, please stop because South by Southwest. Is this your bodyguard? Because he should be. And then also, which cute outfit is?
The one underneath.
Oh, he hasn't seen my hashtag? Show him that when you leave. The hashtag is a hot fuck. Ooh, and you rolling too? Oh, you bring your friend with you. I'm tired. This is so much fun. This has been so. You kicking me off? We good? All right, Nancy. I love you guys. See you later on, guys.